Like, subscribe and comment to win one of the 3 copies of Dragon's Dogma 2 in the Gaming Analytics giveaway. Due to several gameplay reveals in recent months, I've managed to assemble a comprehensive list of vocation skills revealed to date to be included in Dragon's Dogma 2. In this video, I will be discussing all of the archer skills that have been unveiled so far and are set to be part of the game upon release. A significant portion of these skills were showcased at the Tokyo Game Show, but I must admit that the footage quality is equivalent to photographs taken of UFOs. Nevertheless, we are able to discern the in-game description for these skills. So with that said and done, time to uncork your inner dork and let's get nerdy. First off, we'll be looking at the core archer skills. We have seen 6 archer core skills in action, 2 of which are returning from Dragon's Dogma and 4 new to the Arisen's arsenal, or rather within the archer's quiver. These are Loose, Puncture Dart, Front Kick, Steady Shot, Leaping Punt and Parting Shot. The first returning core skill is Loose, which is the Arisen's basic light attack, with which you simply aim and fire an arrow at a nearby foe. It can be employed while moving, and if used while clinging or pinning down a target, the user pierces the target with an arrow directly. Even though this is generally the weakest attack option available to the Arisen, Loose's usefulness lies in the ability to continue ranged attacks whilst restoring stamina to use with skills in more impactful ways. It's probably worth noting that in DD1, a similar core skill was available at rank 2 in Quick Loose. However, I have not spotted it in any of the Dragon's Dogma 2 footage to date. Puncture Dart is up next, and it is described as drawing the bowstring to its absolute limit before firing, making aiming more difficult but allowing arrows to pierce targets with greater impact. In DD1, Puncture Dart upgrades to Skewer Dart, which increases the penetration capability of arrows even further, allowing them to pierce even more targets. However, it has not yet been confirmed that Skewer Dart is in Dragon's Dogma 2. Front Kick is a heavy attack, which unleashes a swift kick that causes a target to flinch, launching the user backward if the kick connects in mid-air. Steady Shot is a vocation action, drawing the bow carefully, allowing for a piercing aim. Steady Shot can be employed while moving, and the length of the draw affects arrow's impact and distance flown. Next up is Leaping Punt, which delivers a weighty kick that can knock foes off balance, launching the user backward after it connects. Parting Shot, on the other hand, fires an arrow while jumping back after performing a leaping punt or mid-air front kick. In the Dragon's Dogma 2 footage and reveals, we've seen a total of 16 archer weapon skills so far. However, only 3 are returning from the original Dragon's Dogma. Further, only 5 of these have a proper visible description, but fortunately in most cases, their names do kind of give away what they're all about. The first returning weapon skill is Dire Arrow, that upon activating fires a devastating shot that knocks down smaller targets. Dire Arrow is also noted to work well with core skills like Steady Shot, with arrows becoming even more powerful if they are loosed the instant the bow is fully drawn. The user is, however, unable to move while charging. This ability differs somewhat from other charged abilities in that timing of the shot is also important. For maximum damage, the arrow should be fired when the shot is fully charged. In Dark Arisen, Dire Shot was upgradable to Deathly Arrow, and then becomes Reaper's Arrow, increasing the power of the charged shot with each iteration. No word on the inclusion of the upgraded versions in Dragon's Dogma 2, however. The second of the returning weapon skills for the archer is Keen Sight, which is a special sight augmenting the Arisen's vision while drawing their bow, allowing them to fire on distant targets at the cost of consuming stamina while the bow is being drawn. Obviously, Keen Sight is the first skill for a sniper type build. In DD1, Keen Sight was upgradable to Lynchian Sight, whereas in Dark Arisen, a further upgrade was available in Eagle Sight, both of which increased the sight range and damage scaling from successful hits, whereas the former also allowed the Arisen to adjust the range while activating, and the latter decreasing the amount of stamina consumed. We will have to wait and see if Lynchen and or Eagle Sight features in Dragon's Dogma 2, but it would make sense that at least one, if not both of these, are within the launch version. Next up is Whirling Arrow, that looses a spinning arrow that delivers a barrage of hits to an area and is especially effective when using special arrows, making it a very effective tactic for inflicting debilitations or status effects on targets. In DD1, Whirling Arrow can be upgraded to Spiral Arrow, and then further within Dark Arisen to Corkscrew Arrow, increasing the strikes inflicted and shortening the charging time with each upgrade. The next confirmed archer weapon skill is Barrage Shot, which fires arrows in rapid succession, allowing for concentrated attacks on single targets, and can be employed while moving. Torrent Shot is an advanced version of Barrage Shot, however we do not know if this upgrade changes the base skills. Next up is Sweep Shot and its upgraded version in Cascade Shot. When activating Sweep Shot, you fire arrows in a wedge pattern, allowing multiple targets to be struck simultaneously that can be employed while moving. Sweep Shot upgrades to Cascade Shot with no clear idea of how exactly this will modify Sweep Shot's capabilities. Exploding Shot and Erupting Shot are up next, with Exploding Shot being described as firing a loaded arrow that adheres to foes or terrain. The arrow will burst when attacked or after a set period of time and can knock targets off balance. As mentioned, Exploding Shot will be upgradable in Dragon's Dogma 2 to Erupting Shot. However, it is not currently clear how this will augment Exploding Shot's capabilities. Tarring Shot and Incendiary Shot do not have any descriptions in Dragon's Dogma 2. However, the name of the skill suggests a successful hit coats the target in oil, and in Dragon's Dogma 1, tarred targets would take double damage when set alight using fire-based attacks. The next two skills that we know are featuring in Dragon's Dogma 2 are Drenching and Deluging Shot, which indicates that targeted enemies are affected with the drenched condition, which traditionally doubles the damage from ice-based and thunder-based attacks, and reduces the damage from fire-based attacks, which also increases the resistance to being set on fire in the first place. However, which also makes sense is that drenched targets will also be more susceptible to being frozen. Blighting Shot and Noxious Shot would suggest that their effects are associated with the poison debilitation, draining enemies' health over time. However, we'll have to wait and see how these exactly work. Last but not least for the archer skills is Heavenly Shot, which is described as a one-hitter quitter, firing an arrow of maximum power in exchange for consuming all of the Arisen stamina. And within Dragon's Dogma 2, Heavenly Shot can only be learned or taught by the Archer Meister. Along with the 22 weapon and Archer core skills, we also know of 5 Archer augments that will be coming to Dragon's Dogma 2. Being Endurance, Radiance, Avidity, Ambuscade and Lethality, and I'll be going through these very quickly. First up is Endurance, which increases your maximum stamina. Radiance, on the other hand, causes your lanterns to consume less oil and illuminate a wider area, whereas the third in Avidity enables you to climb up cliffs and scale foes and other surfaces more quickly. The fourth in Ambuscade increases damage dealt by your attacks when targets are not in battle stance. Finally, Lethality increases damage dealt when striking a target's vitals. As always, thank you so much for watching. On your way out, please remember to leave me a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you want to gain an entry into the Dragon's Dogma 2 Gaming Analytics giveaway. But if you do or you don't, do me one favor. Stay nerdy.